Rhea Ripley, Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch are angry at WWE, and for a very good reason. SummerSlam is happening in less than 48 hours, and while WWE for the most part managed to put most superstars on the show, and that's mostly because of a Battle Royal, there are some superstars that are not gonna be at SummerSlam, and it doesn't make much sense. On one hand, I can understand. Obviously, Triple H wants to put the most interesting matches on the show without the show being way too long. I mean, that's my assumption, but what do I know? I'm just a guy in Dragon Ball Z underwear. And before I say anything, I just want to let you know that I support Becky, Trish, and Rhea 100%. I know why WWE did it, but hear me out. Rhea Ripley is a world heavyweight champion. She was supposed to face Raquel Rodriguez, I assume, from the build we had. It seemed like that big match, two very, macho women. It's kind of obvious that this is the match we're going to get. And she's a world champion. No excuse not to put her on the show. When it comes to Becky and Trish, same thing. They've been building this for weeks. This was the major storyline, possibly the only women's storyline on Monday Night Raw. And while I personally didn't like the storyline that much, I think it got boring. That's not the point. They felt like they are going to wrestle at SummerSlam. And hear me out. There was one thing not to be at SummerSlam. It happens, but it's a whole different thing when you're preparing for SummerSlam, you're advertised for SummerSlam, and you end up not being at SummerSlam, which is a show that every single wrestler dreams at being. It's almost like WrestleMania. As a matter of fact, they advertised Becky Lynch to be on the show. She's in the video packages. I understand how these women feel. It doesn't make much sense. Now, I hate whataboutism, but building SummerSlam matches for months now, canceling them only to introduce another match, it's just not fair. It's simply not fair, even though I'm very excited for the Battle Royal because LA Knight. I get where these women are coming from. Let's start with Rhea Ripley. She's not gonna be at SummerSlam, and I kinda feel like her World Heavyweight Championship title reign is underwhelming. I'm glad she's a champion. She's my favorite female wrestler, but she won the championship and we barely got anything interesting, and I don't even know why. Well, anyway, she's not happy too. She's not gonna be at SummerSlam, but Rhea, you're not appreciating the opportunity the WWE are giving you. She's not gonna be at SummerSlam, okay, fine. She's gonna get something even better. Check out InStyle's article where WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley gives fans a rare behind-the-scenes look at her SummerSlam glam. SummerSlam media appearance look for reasons we all know of. Yikes. Rhea Ripley is not happy. And why are you angry at Rhea? You're a world champion, you're not gonna be at a major paper. Is that a big issue to you? I don't get you, Rhea. Maybe you can do one of these WWE YouTube channel reactions, live reactions to SummerSlam where you can sit with your belt, shine it, and watch other superstars compete. Man, I get where Rhea Ripley is coming from. This is kinda effed up. Even though you may feel like, well, I didn't even care about Rhea versus Raquel. I get it. I don't care too. I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes. I get how they feel. She's probably looking at her championship being like, well, this don't mean nothing in it. Nothing at all. Okay. And apparently WWE pulled Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus from SummerSlam to save time, only to introduce another match like I've said. Fightful Select reported that WWE had decided not to add the match to SummerSlam. However, it isn't because one or both of the women are unable to compete. The apparent reason for cutting the match before it had even been added is apparently due to timing of the card. WWE has been trying to cut down the runtime of its premium live events, and it seems the card is now at capacity. And you can probably imagine Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus are not very happy about it. This is what Becky Lynch posted on Instagram. She posted this picture and said, "This was the shoot I did for SummerSlam. For no apparent reason, I guess. I'm driving to SummerSlam. Look, I'm driving to SummerSlam to do nothing. I'm driving to SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen. Room. Fifth gear to do nothing. I'm just gonna do nothing. I'm just going to do nothing. Trish and Becky got trending on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And Trish Stratus reposted this picture of her and Becky Lynch trending on Twitter after their SummerSlam match was cut. Keep talking. Now, I don't necessarily believe there's an agenda against women in the WWE. From what it seems like, Triple H loves women's wrestling. He's not an idiot. It's just simply not a good look for the WWE, which is not the part I give a shit about, right? I just kinda feel sorry for these women who worked so hard. Not having them at SummerSlam doesn't make much sense. Like I've said, I believe it's just a business move, and I do believe that WWE don't want to have long shows, and it works. You know, lately WWE pay-per-views are just amazing. But I also believe that matches like Ronda versus Shayna, which is an MMA fight, basically, could be really short. It's MMA rules. So make that one shorter. Give us Becky versus Trish. Doesn't have to be a very long match. And like I've said, I don't think there's some agenda against women. We've seen guys like Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle not being on the show. Seth Rollins was really frustrated, and he has every right to be. Matt Riddle probably didn't care. That boy was probably having a good time. And unfortunately, things like these have consequences. Now Triple H is going to walk into a locker room, and these women are gonna look angry at him. You know, they won't speak with him for weeks. Triple H came in with that reputation of being the good boss, and now, you know, some people are starting to feel different about it. And I'm not one of these people who's gonna act like I enjoy this, you know, I felt like it was boring. Ever since they introduced Zoe Stark, it just kinda went down the toilet in my opinion. But Trish Stratus is an absolute legend. Never said anything negative about the WWE, even though that girl had to bark like a dog. She probably has a lot of negative shit to say. Also, Becky, one of the most popular female wrestlers of all time. At one point, she was considered the face of the WWE, probably, right? So, there's no excuse to cut that match only to give us a battle royal, which is actually pretty meaningless. Shout out to Ellen, I hope he's gonna win. And apparently a Kid Rock concert. I don't know. But again, I'm just a guy in Dragon Ball Z underwear, and that's how business works. Now, to end this video, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. I've seen some people saying, how is Logan Paul on this show? Look, I don't like Logan. I like him in the WWE. I know why he's at SummerSlam. He's popular. He brings in more eyes to the product. It's an attraction match. That's how business is done. It's unfair. I know, but Logan Paul versus Ricochet to a lot of people is the most anticipated match at SummerSlam. Whatever the case may be, hopefully WWE will make it right with Becky, Rhea, and Trish, and they're gonna get a good spotlight at the next WWE pay-per-view. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.